Hi folks, and welcome back to the WTF for another video. And in case you're wondering, no, I have not been captured by ISIS and I'm not in Guantanamo Bay, but I do have this new Gucci orange overall which is required for the latest project, which is a bit of restoration work on my digger. Now some of you may have seen this in the background on several of my videos, and I've had this for a number of years, but recently I brought it into the garage because it's got a few issues, not major problems, more cosmetic, mostly rust. So what we've done is brought it in here, and slowly been sort of pulling it apart, and I'm going to be doing a bit of restoration on it to try and get it back into its original glory. So, giving you a little bit of background on this, it's Komatsu PC20-6, 3 ton, just under 3 ton mini digger, and I bought this, let me see, probably about 12-13 years ago, when we had the extension built at the house. The builders obviously left quite a lot of digging and earth and everything, and I had the option of either sort of getting or hiring landscapers to come and sort the garden out, or what was left of it, or buy a digger and do it myself. So I found this company online who were actually importing grey vehicles, or grey plant machinery I should say, and that's where this came from. And I paid about £4,000 for it, which is actually not too bad. And it's originally from Japan. Obviously it's a Komatsu, that's where it's made, but that's where it was imported from. It is about, I would say, probably manufactured somewhere around about 91 or 92 thereabouts, so it's getting on a bit. It's almost 30 years old. And it's been pretty good actually. All I've done on it is just routine maintenance, you know, change the filters. I had to put a couple of new tracks on it because they do tend to wear out. And apart from that, it's been really good. And they're such useful machines. I mean, if you've got a small holding or plot of land or something like that, I can't rate one of these enough. They are so useful. I mean, I've used this for putting up various amateur radio aerials. I put the tower up with this, dug the big hole for the concrete, and the 4 squares we've used again with this digger. And it's useful for jet engines, for lifting, for pulling, for putting fences up. You know, just I don't know how I've done without one of these. They are such useful pieces of kit. So anyway, what we've done, we've brought it in here, and I've taken some bits off it so you can have a look and see what we've done and what we're planning to do with it. So let's quickly show you what it's all about. So as you can see, we've been quite busy here with this, taking bits apart, and I've already started doing some of the painting work on it. The hydraulics on this actually work pretty good. Never had a problem with the hydraulics, and I'll just show you what I've done so far on this. I hope you can see. So we've taken out there was a box which sort of went here. This is the I'll just move that over if I can. So this is the main sort of deck, I would say, and we've got our controls. My welding helmet's in the way there, but those are the main levers. And I took off this. There was a big steel panel on this, and I've taken that off, and you can see all the various hydraulic motors. The one in the middle there is the swing motor and gearbox, and there's a smaller one there. It's you can actually trace all the piping to the various parts, and you can figure out what goes what. But most of this is actually in pretty good condition. We've got a big servo block, or yeah, I guess it's a servo block there, which goes to to the arm, the digging arm. And the main problem here, as you can see, is the rust. There's lots of, although this metal is really thick, there's lots of superficial rust everywhere, which, well, I guess it's not surprising given how old it is. Anyway, what I've tried to do with this is, I guess what you would call a sort of a sympathetic restoration. So it's really just a paint job, trying to preserve it. I mean, the thing is with restorations, you can either go mad with them and just dismantle everything and then repaint it and shot blast it, repaint it, respray it, whatever, and then put it all back together again. And that's it's very time consuming, and the question you have to ask yourself, you know, how necessary is that? And most of the rust on this digger is pretty superficial, and you know, with a paint job and everything, it'll probably last it, you know, several more years, possibly another decade even. I'll just have a look at the engine on this. So this is the engine compartment. It's a 3-cylinder diesel engine, Komatsu engine, and you can read it there. It's a 3D6A, which apparently is quite a standard engine in a lot of diggers apparently. Well, it's only by Komatsu. And this engine really hasn't caused me any problems at all. It's been pretty solid. The only thing I've had to replace on it is the radiator pipe there, which was a bit of a mission because I had to take the whole radiator off. That was done about 2 or 3 years ago. The problem with diggers is that you generally have to do a lot of the restoration work yourself. It's not the sort of thing you can take to your local garage. I guess you can probably, there are companies that sort of do call out work, I suppose. Let's get it in focus. But again, it's not the sort of thing that you can really do on your own. Or, you know, you have to do it on your own. So as you can see here, I've put some basically just some anti-rust primer here, and we're going to repaint all this. One of the problems that we had was the battery compartment or area. That was totally rusted completely, so I've had to put a new plate there, weld it up. And the other problem as well was the bonnet. Now that's the new bonnet that I've made to fabricate that. I'll just show you the old one and you can see how badly rusted it was. This is the old bonnet engine cover. If you can see that, it's just totally rusted. When I got this, actually, the bonnet was in pretty poor condition, and I tried to weld up some plates or do some repairs on it, but over the years even my dodgy welding has slowly rusted and come apart. Anyhow, so the plan is, as I mentioned, what we'll do is we'll continue painting this and hopefully put it all back together. There's a bit of welding to do on this seat box. You can see there's quite a bit of rust, and see there as well. That's the underneath of the seat box. But I think we can probably repair that and keep the original. The rest of it, there's some rust there as well. The rest of it's actually not too bad. I think get rid of all that. Hopefully, try and get it reasonably respectable. Anyway, that's it. We'll show you what it looks like after we've done it. Well, I'm just doing a bit of work on this central console of the digger. This was quite badly rusted. In fact, you can see that's the front of it, and I've already welded a piece of metal in place. You can see this was really really rusted, and there was a couple of areas like this on this console. There's another area under there which I'm busy welding in at the moment. Apart from that, it's not in too bad condition, it just needs a coat of paint. And these sort of things here is where the well, there's a one for the throttle which goes there, and then this is to lower and raise the bulldozer blade at the front. And it came apart reasonably easily actually. A couple of bolts were seized, but they all came free with the blowtorch. So hopefully I'm going to finish welding this, and then probably coat a primer, and then got some blue paint for it. And then the next job is the seat box, and to also give a coat of paint to the actual deck. Anyhow, let's get on and weld this plate in. Not bad. I reckon if I ever get struck off the GMC, I might be able to make a career out of being a welder, I think. Anyhow, let's start on the seat box. That's next up. Okay folks, as you can see, here's the digger, and finally finished doing our little restoration project. So what I'm going to do is I'll have a quick closer look, and I'll just show you what I've done on this to make it look, well, it looks almost brand new actually. Anyway, let's take a quick closer look. So I've done quite a lot of painting, as you can see, and I haven't gone to town with this particularly. I mean, I could have easily taken this whole thing apart and spray painted it, but what I've done is use tractor enamel. And for things like plant machinery, I think that works quite well. I mean, considering how tatty it was before, I think it looks quite smart actually, dare I say so myself. We've done a bit on the bulldozer blade. So if you look at the deck, I'll show you what I've done here. So again, basically repainted everything. This was where the hydraulics are, I should say, not were, are. So this panel was quite rusted, so that's been all cleaned up, repainted. That's my new seat box, which was really badly corroded. I think some reason, I think the water seems to collect at certain points, and it causes corrosion. So I've re-welded a panel on there. Similarly with the control box there, I've had to redo the panel, cut out all the old rusted parts, and underneath here I've also cleaned. I had to spray all the gloop out of it. You know, a combination of mud and grease, and I've wax oiled everything. So yeah, generally it looks a lot better. Similarly with the roof, I didn't bother with the plastic thing. I've just got rid of some old, it had been repainted at some stage, so I managed just to get the wire brush and get rid of most of that. But because it's plastic, I've really just left that as it is. And then coming around this side, so there's the bonnet, the new bonnet or hood, depending on what you want to wear, depending on where you're from. Got a few nice little stickers there put there just to make it look reasonably good. And this hasn't come out too badly actually, even by my standards. I mean, I had to weld all this up, and yeah, I mean, I could have got a straight piece of steel there and tried to bend it, but I think it would have had difficulties with that. So I've done it in panels and sections, I think, to make it look reasonably okay. And we've got some bonnet catches here. Just open those. These are just got off eBay, they're just fairly cheap. And engine, and I've replaced all the filters on this digger. That battery over there probably needs to be replaced. It's a bit weak. I think it's on the way out. Now the only other thing I've got to do here is this gas strut isn't really strong enough. It won't hold this bonnet up on its own, which it's supposed to, so I think I probably need a stronger one of those, but that's a job for another day. I managed to put a rubber stick on rubber all the way around just to help it, and then just pop those back. And just coming around on this side, I've got a nice stainless steel grill there for where the radiator is, and that's more or less about it. So let's fire it up and give you a quick demo. I think I've got a bit of old junk there which I might be able to destroy. Well folks, that seems to demolish the old bonnet pretty well. Seems to work pretty good. Anyway, that's all from the WTF. Until the next video. Cheers!